In the stillness before dawn, as the world holds its breath and the first light begins to touch the horizon, I find myself at a crossroads, a place where reflection meets resolve. In these early hours, when the night gives way to day, I see myself more clearly, not as the world perceives, but as I truly am. The quiet of this moment strips away the noise, leaving behind a clarity that can only be found in solitude. It's in this fragile space, where darkness is bows to light, that I gather strength and purpose. Here, I'm reminded that the day's true power isn't in its rush, but in the wisdom and dreams forged in the calm before its beginning. But this peace, this comfort didn't come easy. It's the result of choosing to stand up for myself, to protect my kind heart from those who would take advantage of it. And while that choice brings strength, it also brings lonely nights, where the silence is filled with the echoes of all the people who couldn't understand, couldn't see the depth behind the surface. Choosing to stand alone is not without its cost. When you guard your heart and hold firm to your values, the nights can feel longer, the silence heavier. In those quiet hours when the world is asleep, loneliness becomes more than a feeling. It becomes a companion, whispering reminders of the distance between you and the crowd. It's in these moments of solitude that the weight of your convictions feel the heaviest, as if the very act of staying true to yourself creates a chasm between you and the rest of the world. Yet, it's the same solitude that reveals the truth of others. I've learned that many people prefer the comfort of the crowd, the safety of the following, rather than leading. They shy away from the depth I seek, content with the surface, unwilling to dive deeper. This understanding brings a different kind of loneliness, one where the realization that genuine connection is rare and becomes a constant companion I hope for. The more I've embraced my own depth, the more I've seen the gap between myself and those who fear the unknown, who fear what they might find if they look too closely at themselves. Sometimes, life has a way of forcing your hand and making you confront the reality you've been avoiding. My breaking point came during my senior year when the demands of life outpaced my ability to keep up. I was burning the candle at both ends, working long shifts, running on fumes, and convincing myself that if I just pushed harder, everything would fall into place. But one night, after another grueling shift, I found myself on the edge, literally and figuratively. The road blurred before me as exhaustion took hold, and in that terrifying moment, I knew something had to give. That close call was more than a scare. It was a moment of reckoning. It made me see that the path I was on wasn't sustainable, that I needed to make a change before life made the decision for me. So I chose a different path, one where I could reclaim my time, my energy, and my sense of purpose. It wasn't an easy choice, but it was the only one that could lead me to a life worth living, a life where I wasn't just getting by, but actually growing. At least, so I thought. When I first set foot on NIU's campus, I carried with me a quiet optimism, a belief that this new chapter would bring the connections I had always sought. I imagined finding a sense of belonging, finally meeting people who understood the depth of my thoughts and the weight of my experiences. But as the days turned into weeks, the optimism began to fade. Each attempt to reach out felt like grasping of shadows, leaving me with a growing sense of isolation. It wasn't just the misconnections that weighed on me, it was the sting of rejection and ridicule. Social media, a place where I had hoped to find some camaraderie, instead became a stage for mockery. My efforts to connect were met with silence or scorn, and the more I tried, the more out of place I felt. It was a harsh lesson, but one I needed to learn. Not everyone is meant to understand your journey, and seeking validation from those who don't see your worth is a path to nowhere. I began to realize that the connections I was searching for couldn't be forced. They had to be genuine, built on mutual respect and understanding, no matter how much few or between they might be. If I could reach back through time, I'd tell my younger self to trust the quiet strength within, to hold firm to the values that define him, even when the world tries to pull him in every other direction. There were times when I wavered, when the temptation to confirm, to silence my own voice for the comfort of others, felt overwhelming. But conformity is a cage, and the true path, the one that leads to purpose and peace, requires courage, even when that courage isolates you. I'd whisper to him that standing strong in your truth is the most powerful stance you can take, even if it means walking a road less traveled. That road, though steep and lonely at times, is where you find the depth of your spirit and the resilience of your heart. It's not about bending to the whims of the world or seeking the fleeting approval of others. It's about steadfast in your journey, consistent in your integrity, and patient with your growth. The noise, the distractions, the superficial connections, they will all fade. But the strength you cultivate by staying true to who you are will become your greatest ally. It's this strength that will carry you forward, turning every challenge into a stepping stone towards the life you were meant to live. As I move forward, the lessons I've learned stand on the foundation beneath my feet. Each challenge faced, each change embraced, has redefined what strength truly means. It's not about the absence of fear or doubt, but the courage to face them head on, to rise with more resolve, more purpose, and a clear sense of self. Strength, I've learned, is not just about endurance, it's about the choices we make in the quiet moments, when no one is watching, when it's just you and the truth staring back. Every new beginning is more than just a fresh start. It's a declaration of intent, a promise to yourself to keep moving forward, no matter how uncertain the path. It's in these moments of renewal that I found the greatest clarity, the deepest peace. The road ahead may be uncharted, the challenges unknown, but with each step, I carry the wisdom of my journey and the strength that comes from knowing who I am. The world may try to dictate the terms, but I've learned to listen to my own voice, to trust the quiet strength within. The journey is mine to shape, and in the end, it's not about how fast I move, but how deeply I understand the path I'm on. Change is no longer the unsettling force I once feared. It's become the rhythm of my life, a pulse that drives me forward. There was a time when change felt like an upheaval, a threat to the fragile stability I'd built. But now, I understand that change is the very essence of growth, the force that molds us into who we're destined to become. The journey has shown me that change is not a disruption, but a transformation. It's the quiet hand that shapes our souls, the teacher that guides us through the shadows and into the light. Each challenge, each moment of discomfort has become a stepping stone, revealing a strength I didn't know I had. Embracing change has taught me to trust the process, to see each shift as an opportunity to evolve, to refine what truly matters. In the movement and the flow of life's constant currents, I found my purpose, my direction, and a peace that comes from knowing that every change, no matter how daunting, is leading me exactly where I'm meant to be. But even as we embrace change and growth, there's another element that can't be ignored: self-belief. I've come to realize that the world will test you time and time again. People will doubt you, circumstances will change you, and at times it will feel like this universe is asking, how bad did you want this? In those moments, when doubt creeps in, when it feels like everything is stacked against you, that's when you need to believe in yourself the most. Not in a superficial way, not in a loud, boastful declarations of confidence, but in the quiet, unshakable knowledge that you are capable, that you have the strength to endure and vision to succeed. I've learned that self-belief isn't about being invincible. It's about knowing that even if you fall, you'll get back up. Even if the road is hard, you'll keep moving forward. And even if the world tells you no, you'll find a way to create your own yes. I look back now at all the times I stumbled, at all the challenges I thought I couldn't overcome, and I see them differently. These moments weren't failures, they were lessons. Each setback, each disappointment was preparing me for something greater. It's easy to get lost in the idea that we need to succeed immediately, that every step must lead to instant results. But growth is a process, a journey, not a destination. And it's in the journey where we learn the most about ourselves. I've learned that the things we think are holding us back, the obstacles, the delays, the rejections, are actually the very things that are shaping us into who we're meant to become. Each challenge strengthens us, gives us more resilience, and teaches us more about what we're capable of. So if I could offer one piece of advice, it would be this. Embrace the journey, don't rush it, don't force it. Trust that where you are right now is exactly where you need to be. The lessons you learn today will serve you in ways you can't even imagine yet. As I move forward, I carry with me the understanding that the future is full of possibility. The unknown, once something I feared, now feels like an open field, a canvas waiting to be painted with new experiences, new growth. And while I don't know what's coming next, I do know one thing for sure. I'm ready for it. The journey ahead may be uncertain, but I've learned to trust myself, to trust that I have everything I need within me to face whatever comes. I've stopped waiting for permission to pursue my dreams. I've stopped seeking validation from those who don't understand my path. Instead, I've learned to stand firm in my own truth, to walk my own road, even if it means walking it alone. Because at the end of the day, the only person who needs to believe in your journey is you. The only person who can decide where you go, how you grow, and what you create is you. So as I continue forward, I do so with an open heart, a clear mind, and an unwavering belief that the best is yet to come.